dynamic of following riddles or like actually following legit information, it's just like two different worlds. Two fucking different worlds.
You know what's funny? When I first jumped into here, I was looking at riddles. I had no fucking idea what was going on. Absolutely none. And people in the community were following riddles. So I'm like, shit, maybe I gotta follow this. I had no idea. I was so lost.
It means nothing, bro. It means absolutely nothing.
You know what?
Absolutely nothing, bro. You think fucking market makers are fucking sitting at their desks, their trading desks, fucking programming these algorithms to follow riddles on the internet on fucking Twitter, bro?
You know, my direction when I started connecting with you, that's what changed my direction. I'm like, this man is legit. This is what I need to do.
People have no understanding of how the markets work in general, but they'll go on Twitter, bro, and try and follow these riddlers as if they have a fucking clue, bro, just because they've been accurate a couple of times in their fucking Twitter life. It's hilarious, bro. If you like just, you know what people need to do more often is they need to put themselves in mental scenarios that logically make sense. Like imagine going to JP Morgan or a big asset manager or large financial institution and explaining to them how you approach the markets. Oh yeah, I follow the riddlers on Twitter. They would literally laugh at you and kick you out of their financial institution. Like flat out, they call security on you. You know, like
that's wild.
But for real though, people stand by the riddlers, bro. It's hilarious.
But you know what? Don't get me wrong. There are some things that I want to say not have come into fruition, but just there are some similarities between them.
By all means, yes,
yeah, for sure.
But more so when it connects the dots to research. I'm just particularly talking about how price moves.
Yeah,
riddlers, of course, yes, they can get things right. They can connect dots. They can do the whole, connection to the stars and numbers and all that stuff, gematria. I'm not knocking that by any means. I'm just saying in particular how volume and liquidity and the market price action actually moves has nothing to do with Twitter or the riddlers or anything. It's market makers and algorithmic bots and an artificial intelligence. It's like, anyways.
Yeah,
another conversation.
Another thing is how people are just waiting for things to happen. But when you read literally every, like, from the World Bank, IMF to anyone else in between that spectrum, they're all say they're waiting for regulations, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So if you pay attention to the legal part of stuff and what's actually going on with like the new stablecoin bill that was just drafted, or these other bills that's just been drafted, like that's your heads up. That's how you know things are going on. But no one.
There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. I mean, we'll jump into it, man. Might as well just get the conversation started. There's so much, and I know that freaking Mr. Aquaman, he's got some stuff to share. He's been jumping into the research.
Bro, don't be distracted by them riddles. Don't be distracted by them riddles, bro. I swear to God, I feel in my heart after what I've learned the past 2 weeks that the riddles are here to distract the simple-minded community. No offense, man. If you're that person, like, get yourself out of that, bro, because what you're missing out on and what is out there in DeFi is unlimited. Oh my God. So yeah, man.
Well, here, I'll share my screen. We'll go ahead and we'll start to bang this out, because right now y'all are listening to some gentlemen in the crypto sphere and the Web3 ecosystem that are constantly spitting out facts. Mr. Man with his documented research, not only in panel discussions, but actually taking the time to read the documents. If you haven't checked out Nerdy's information on the financial system, the fiat distraction, the way that the world is headed via this digital transformation, then get hip. And if you're not too familiar with Mr. Aquaman's work, I mean, all aspects and categories of life, he's debunking stuff. He's putting people on health tips. He's trying to chuck information out about the new world order. I mean, it's a journey,
It is, man.
It is, definitely.
That's
all right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and share this. This I wanted to start the conversation with here, because Nerdy put something out. He reposted this where it goes on to say, we don't have a climate crisis, we have a mental health crisis. Bro, like, let me put something into perspective for people real quick via the information that we're trying to, the 4 people on this call right now are trying to share with you all. Okay. Look at what these freaking people are doing. Okay. They had to go out and purchase everything that they are most likely wearing right now, right? These fake little tiny brown things. They had to buy the paper. They had to buy the paint to put on the paper. They had to buy the freaking face stuff, whatever they got going on. Then they had to drive to where they're going to get to this protest. Okay. Meanwhile, this is what they're protesting for. But meanwhile, look at what the Bank of International Settlements general manager, Augustin Carstens, literally freaking said to the world, literally to the world just a couple of days ago. Okay. Money is an asset that has no intrinsic value. Okay. He openly stated this to the world. This is from a discussion that took place just a couple of days ago at a lecture at the Center for Financial Studies. This is from 2024. And this is what people are going to protest and roam the streets.
Crazy.
110%.
That's some wild stuff right there, man.
It's
Yeah.
wild when you think about it that way, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting what people put their attention on, and then when their attention's on that, they see more of that itself. I want to say the law of attraction, if you will, and they're missing the entire forest for what's going on because they're focused on these small things. Have you guys seen those people that like lay in the streets
Yeah.
and block cars?
Hold on. I just
It's like
Time out.
illogical, bro. That doesn't even
Let's
make
time out.
sense, bro.
because
Like,
the thing is, I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm laughing at people in a sense that I'm making fun of them. It's more so I'm laughing at the way that they're directing their energy towards these narratives that don't matter, when in reality they're created in order to distract us by what the real problem is. And the real problem is that we are operating in a mother trucking matrix. I said this to people the other day. If we all woke up tomorrow, everybody in the world, even these protesters here, and we all just decided to stop using the fiat system, everything would collapse. If everybody tomorrow just stopped going to work, I know that it sounds unrealistic, but everything that they've put in place for us would completely halt to exist if we, the people, just woke up tomorrow and stopped fighting for these things, these wars, these proxy wars, these geopolitical escalations, these freaking things that they dangle in front of us. Meanwhile, you get what I'm saying? Like, oh man.
There was a conference I was watching, a high-level conference, where these guys, just going along with what you're saying there, that money is a social construct that we unknowingly subscribe to from birth. You just kind of are birthed, and then you grow up in this societal structure that you have no say of, and you're just a part of it, and you subscribe to it without recognizing you subscribe to it. And because everybody else does it, you are now doing it without recognizing that it's a social construct.
Exactly.
100%, bro. You hit the nail with the hammer, brother. 100%.
That's 100% facts. I was reading this document just to further solidify what it is that I'm attempting to try and show people, is that these things, everything that we're living through in life, it's a systemically implanted plan to usher in some type of radical idea or some type of radical transformation. Docs reveal Israel-Iran conflict was planned 100 years ago to spark World War III. Okay. Creating this new world. All right. Now, this is not a make-believe thing. You can go read about this new world order from large financial institutions. Here's just an example of information and documents that some of the CyberX researchers have provided. This is a document from HSBC, right here. That's a large financial institution who's definitely in 110% a part of this digital transformation. Look at what they're saying. The themes under this trend will evolve, of course, but for now, we focus on the infrastructure. We know that they're building a new financial infrastructure. They talk about future cities, healthcare innovation, social empowerment, right? And here it says Asia in the New World Order, and it mentions digital transformation, okay? Now, this wouldn't mean anything unless we had other documents confirming that they're utilizing these wars in order to test out this new technology. All right, let me show you what the heck I'm talking about. We found this document the other day. One of our researchers from the Middle East pulled up this document. Crazy. He's from Lebanon, and some of the documents that he pulls up aren't even like, you can't even find them in America. Let me share my screen. I made a YouTube video about this the other day. I posted this on X. Look at what they're freaking saying in this document. This is nuts. Okay, this is from Harvard Kennedy School.
Yeah.
You guys can see my screen?
Yeah. This video was fire, man.
You watched it, right? March 2024. Okay.
Yeah.
The day after in Gaza, using fintech to forge a terrorism-free future. And in here, they're talking about how they're literally going to start utilizing these proxy wars to usher in digital wallets, to usher in the elimination of cash, right? To turn Gaza into a fintech hub.
Wow.
Okay. And if you go do research on another war that happened, obviously, of course, started back in 2021, Russia, Ukraine, right? Go look at when the United Nations partnered with the Stellar Development Foundation to usher in, payments to dispersed citizens in Ukraine. It's a repetitive cycle. These are all just tests. They're all tests. And it's right here. Transparency and traceability. That's what they're attempting to do. They're attempting to track, control, and monitor everybody. Monitoring measures should be implemented, ensuring the integrity of this framework. To establish digital wallets, they need biometric validation. Every transaction, look at this, shall be subject to strict ongoing monitoring. That's not coming from me. That's coming from freaking Harvard.
One thing I want to add real quick is you mentioned the Ukrainian thing with Stellar is they have a DI app. That DI app was created by the U.S. aid. So all these things that are happening, United States has a big hand in all of it, and people are not really comprehending that fact. That it is for a digital transformation. Because without there was a book I was reading called Economica or something like that. It was released in 1943, and there was other Bank of International Settlement documents and IMF documents that all the same thing, that in order to have a new system, it would have to be a coalition. It would have to be worlds and governments would have to come together to usher in the new transformation. So and that's exactly what is happening. It's a group effort.
Bro, what's so crazy to me is people are so worried about BRICS and the death of the dollar and everything crumbling and all this stuff, when in reality, these mother truckers behind the scenes are all at these global meetings together, shaking hands.
Yeah.
Bro, I proved to the world that when the BRICS thing was trending heavily last year in 2023, you guys remember that, I'm sure you do. It was all over social media, Twitter. It was like the main theme in 2023, right? I proved to people that all the same jurisdictions that are involved in BRICS, including the United States and many other jurisdictions, were all at a meeting that was organized, if I'm not mistaken, by the United Nations and the OECD, where they all came together to agree on the digitalization of the global economy and tax implications.
Wow.
And they all had representatives from China, from Russia, from Iran, from Israel, from Brazil, from India, from the United States, from Canada, from Mexico. Global jurisdictions all there had representatives in the same place, shaking hands, agreeing on tax implications for the digital economy. So you mean to tell me that we're supposed to believe that we're in conflict with each other all on the world stage, but they can all be in a peaceful environment together, agreeing on the digitalization of the global economy?
But no one believes you when you tell them that too. I was talking to one of my brethren about this, and he thought I was nuts. He legit thought I was nuts. He's like, "You have no proof. You have no proof."
So hold on. Iran and Israel, they're blowing each other up right now and whatnot. And again, I'm not knocking the innocent lives that are going to be lost because of these geopolitical tensions, because that is for a fact innocent bystanders that have no part in this whatsoever are going to be involved and affected. But you mean to tell me that Israel and Iran and Russia and China were in the same room with the United States representatives shaking hands, but we're supposed to believe that they're fighting each other? Like, that just doesn't make sense. If we were really in conflict, how are they able to be in rooms with each other and representatives from these jurisdictions?
Another thing I want to add is how China went digital with the digital yuan or whatever. That whole infrastructure with the digital wallets, that was a partnership that they had with a study with UC San Diego. So UC San Diego, Federal Reserve of Boston, and the Chinese government were all working together to develop a digital wallets and digital payments. Is that by chance? And also, you had India with the one world, one grid solution, where they want to make everything EV and everyone be on solar panels and all this stuff.
I mean, you know, it's really okay. Let me put it this way: the vast majority of the population is obviously, of course, distracted mentally. Our population has gone to absolute shite. You know, it's there. I don't like blaming it on people, because at the end of the day, it's not our fault. It is our responsibility, though, to try and break free from the matrix, to break free from the norm. It is not our fault that things are like this, in a sense that it's drip fed to us at such an early age that it's so hard to believe anything outside of what's being fed to you, unless you have some sort of aha moment, which I kind of wanted to ask each of you this question real quick to kind of really capitalize on some more good conversation. I feel like the people that dabble into the research that we dabble into, or the people that break free via financial freedom, or that actually dig into this space or understand what's going on, something in your life happened. And it was most likely something catastrophic, like drastic, like life-changing, like either life-threatening, or you experience a death, or you experience a close call scenario with your own life, or just something super bad happened where you were like, this shit ain't right. For me, it was the military. For me, I lost a buddy in the military, and the way that the military treated that military member's family after he was gone allowed me to see the bigger picture. Like, dang, we're all pawns in this massive chess game, and they don't really care about us as individual soldiers who fought for this country and sacrificed our life on the line for this nation. They really don't care. That was my aha moment. When I got out of the military in 2017, I was like, oh, okay, hold on. This is all backwards.
Yep.
But before that, I was brainwashed, bro. Shaved head, shaved face, wanted to spend 25 years in the military for Uncle Sam, supporting this nation, fighting for my country, right? I seriously, bro, had like posters on my wall in high school growing up of Navy SEALs. I wanted to be the top dog, like this, and that. But then I started to realize throughout the deployments that I had and throughout my experiences in the military, okay, something ain't right here. So the question is, what were your guys's experiences? Like, what was that moment where the last moment where you jumped to the other side? It was that moment for you. You were like, aha, and your life changed.
Bro, for me, it was like a couple years after 9/11. I'm at work. I'm a loan officer at the time, and the homie brother Locks, he says, "Hey, bro, watch this DVD." I take the DVD home. I popped in Loose Change. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Loose Change, the DVD, the documentary that was going around, and you could actually still go on YouTube and peep it. There's part 2 now, but Loose Change was legitimately breaking down with scientific facts on how it was not scientifically even possible for those buildings to fall down at the rate that it did, amongst a bunch of other shit that it like proved to me. From that moment on, I remember walking outside in Cyprus. What's so crazy is that my mentality then and your mentality then, we probably would have clashed heads at, like, you know what I mean? Because I was like, yo, the government is like, they're against us. They don't care about us. Like, I was like, yo, like, I was scared too, bro, because I was in my early 20s, living by myself. You know what I mean? And dude, it scared the shit out of me, bro. And from that moment on, I've just been having I've been having smaller awakenings within that awakening, like year after year. But then when I got married and I settled down and I stopped drinking alcohol and I started looking at my kids, that's when it all really started coming together. Like, man, I need to start researching because I got to take care of this family, right? I need to really understand my surroundings. You know what I mean? And most people are distracted just from their inner dramas. They're so distracted from their inner dramas that they can't see the bigger dramas. You know what I mean? The bigger picture of what they're surrounded by. Because look at how intoxicated our culture is, bro. Like, people watch drama on TV as entertainment, bro. This shit is mind blowing.
It is.
Like people want to watch like the murder documentaries, bro.
It's nuts, bro.
It's nuts, bro. Like they drop like 10, 12 like a month, bro. You're like, bro, like why are you guys dropping so many of these documentaries about this topic? It was cool when you did it that one time, but now you're dropping it like I don't know. I think that might be doing something to the culture psyche as a whole, bro. So like just seeing those different things and understanding things in different sections of your life, you really start like, damn, like, man, I need to relook at this. I need to relook at that. And then, bro, like when I lost my daughter, I had a daughter. I lost my daughter. She was 25 days old. And, you know, from that moment on, bro, I remember telling myself to never, ever shut anything down just based on hearsay and to always look at it like deeper. Because what's on that other side of your hearsay, you know, assumption could be some gold, can be some truth that could save your life potentially. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
I can agree with you 110%. So like when you were talking about the 9/11 thing, like I physically lived through these are pictures of me in the military. I physically lived through military training. I was an 11 Bravo soldier. I was in the infantry, you know, I like boots on the ground. Okay. I hate getting into all that, but I got to go through that firsthand. And they teach you to not like terrorists. Like they teach you through military training. They would put us through simulation cities in Iraq and Afghanistan and this and that. But then like come to find out full circle, exactly what you're saying, bro. Like it was probably all an inside job. You know, I mean, that's what the data points to. That's what the statistics point to. That's what the facts point to. And so like that awakening for me as an individual, like, dang, they really got a whole army of people manipulated, bro, into believing. And so like my last year in the military, because I had that event happen to me where I was like, all right, okay, hold on. This ain't cool, you know? And I was for it. I really was for. I'm not against America. I love this. This is the place that I grew up. This is the motherland. This is where you know, at the end of the day, I've raised my kids and I've established my business and this and that. But America is not what it used to be, and it's seriously turning into a place that is. I mean, wow.
It's toxic.
Yeah, it's like you're on the verge of curving your tongue.
Yeah,
because of how bad it is. You can't even really say how bad it is because you don't know if like, you know, you're going to get put on a list or something.
That was one of my experiences. So I was in a grade school during the time of the 9/11 stuff. And my own homies, my own friends, I used to kick it with all the time. Everyone I was acquainted with at school, just boom, stigma changed. All of a sudden, I'm just, you know, watch out for him. It's like, bro, I have nothing to do with that. What the hell? Like, I hang out with you every day. All of a sudden, I have this negative stigma towards me just because of the color of my skin or how I look, whatever. It just shows you how quick people are willing to change for something happens, bro. And that's how brainwashed people are. I mean, look at the stuff look at the stuff that just happened with 2020, right? All of a sudden there was two-sided. Either you're with it or you're not with it. But now we're finding out the people that were with it actually fell for something that, you know, harmed them for the rest of their lives. And that's what I'm really get to my point with all the posts I put and everything I put is people don't realize how much manipulation and altering goes on within society with tiny little micro events that lead to a macro event, that lead to a macro perspective. And that's just 100. How they work.
That's facts. Yeah, dude. It's I was watching so I rarely ever watch Netflix. Like I don't even have a TV in my house. I have to watch it on a laptop. I got rid of all the TVs in my house during COVID. Which is really backwards because more people got TVs and started watching more TV. I actually did the complete opposite. I stopped watching TV and did more productive things. But anyways, and so every now and then, like me and my girl will watch, you know, see what's trending or see what other people are watching just to, you know, see what the world's tapped into. And there's this TV show that just came out called The Third Body Problem.
Oh,
and
snap.
Bro, it's mind blowing. Like I watched it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is predictive programming at its finest. I mean, it's literally this metaverse alien existence that these aliens created, and that's coming. Like I'm going to show you guys some of that stuff on today's call. That's not a joke. That's actually happening. It's coming. But the main key takeaway that I pulled from watching that and it's only a couple episodes, it's like 8 or 9 episodes, it's nothing crazy,
Mhm.
is that we as a civilization would really fight each other over fighting the few thousand people that are in control of this world. Like, if
Mhm.
something crazy happened, like a pandemic as an example, or just take 2019, 2020 as an example,
Mhm.
we were not fighting the elites, those in control of the situation.
Mhm.
We were fighting each other. And if there was a global war or crisis,
Mhm.
it's so bad. Our civilization is so brainwashed and so manipulated that it is for a fact that we would not point the finger at those in charge. We would
Mhm.
start to point our fingers at each other. We'd
Mhm.
start to blame race. We'd start to blame religion. We'd start to blame color and personal preferences on all these different things
Mhm.
instead of pointing the finger on the people that made us think these certain things. And it's
Mhm.
like, I watched that, bro, and I don't cry or get depressed often, but that made me like, I was seriously like, this is really how the world is. This is
Yep.
not just some show on Netflix like most people think it is. This is reality.
100%, bro. And like, dude, when you really think about things though, too, you know, before they banned my account on TikTok, I was enlightening the world on how the world, United States in particular, is being literally poisoned in their water. The water that comes out of the faucet, the same water
Yep.
that comes out of your shower, the same water that you use to brush your teeth and wash your face. It all has fluoride, chlorine, chromoform, arsenic. Yo, if I pulled up to any one of your
You
guys'
stop
houses,
it, you conspiracy theorist.
hey, if I pulled up on you guys and I put some arsenic in your cup, and you guys called the cops and say, yo, this guy came to my house, he tried to poison me, put arsenic in my cup, I would get arrested that day.
Mhm.
Why these water municipals are getting away with treating the water with arsenic?
Because
Mhm.
nobody
Tell
knows,
me
bro.
where that even makes sense. But like, that's what I'm trying to bring it back home, is that like humans, like everyone is being poisoned, like their brains are being poisoned. Like, I almost don't even want to sit here just really think about it. I don't even want to like make fun of you guys. I want to beg you guys
Yeah.
to like really
Bro, I feel the same.
understand.
I feel the same
Yep.
way, but I ain't no beggar. You know,
Yeah, me facts.
you know, I feel the same way with the content that I put out. It's like I will literally put out fundamentals and research and valid panel discussions from systemically important people, and
Mhm.
people will still troll underneath of the comments and talk shit. Like, what are you? Do you see what I'm trying to teach y'all? You know,
Mhm.
it's like, please wake
It's
up.
crazy,
The people,
bro.
the people are so just
It's
not off
Just
their
jumping
rocker.
back here, you're talking about the three body problems. You know Neil Tyson deGrasse, the astrophysicist.
Yeah.
He has a YouTube series about the three body problem. And just going back to my wake up call, if you will, the whole 9/11 thing, it
Mhm.
didn't capture my attention. I was going to university at this point, and I was more focused on schooling itself.
Mhm.
And some things didn't make sense, but I left it alone because I wanted to focus on what I was doing.
Mhm.
And then we had the beer flu come around, and it didn't make sense to me still. And my wife is like, "This doesn't make sense. They're gonna roll out some injections now." And I'm like, "Why would they go and do that? Like, there's been no testing on this." I swear to you, a month later, these things rolled out. And then during this time, we were prepping to go for a camping trip, a good week out in the bush there to go for a hike and go camping. And then
Mhm.
when we came out, there was no pandemic. There was no like bodies laying in the road. There was no people swinging from like the street lights. There was nothing. Nothing was going on. And it didn't make sense to me what was happening. I
Facts.
knew things didn't make sense prior to this, but
Mhm.
now it made even less sense. And then
Mhm.
she started putting these videos on Rumble, and I was like, "What the hell? What are we watching? Like, how does this make English sense? What I'm watching versus what I'm living and seeing?" And the
Mhm.
things I was watching made way more sense. And like, it got to the point where I was so convoluted, I couldn't figure out what was going on, the cognitive dissonance,
Mhm.
because I didn't trust this, and this was still so new. I remember walking through Walmart with a mask on and like rubber gloves, pushing a cart.
I never, bro. I
Yeah.
never put the
But
mask
then
on.
it got to the point where I was like, after that, I was like, never again. When I recognized it.
Bro,
then-
I remember the peak of COVID. I went to Texas. I went to Texas for like I don't even remember how long, but they were clearing out Home Depots and Walmarts and turning them into like literally silos for people to come. And I remember them having cones and people being in hazmat suits doing tests and shit, bro. Like, I remember driving past that and just being like, what are these idiots doing?
Hey,
Like,
facts. Right down the street, I had the Pomona Fairplex, and they had like you could drive up in your whip, and they would do it to you. They were doing like the swabs and all that shit. It was like right down the street from my house. I was
like, hold on. People don't even understand that during World War II, there weren't curfews and restrictions the way that there were during COVID. That's how crazy this all was. Like, you have to understand that what COVID was, and I've proved this on X. I'm not even going to pull up the documents. Just scroll down the past 100 posts and it'll prove it for you via the documents that I've shared from systemically important organizations like the IMF, the BIS, major financial institutions confirming that COVID was a enacted plan implemented to further accelerate digital transformation. Okay.
Onboarding. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%,
exactly.
bro.
That's all it was. It was a forced plan for us to all, obviously, of course, give up our sovereignty, right? Because they're going to usher in digital identities, and we'll go over that today. They're going to usher in these digital wallets and carbon credits and all these things to track, control, and monitor everything that's coming out of our existence.
Hey, yeah.
Go ahead. Just
I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say, man, because like y'all got to tap into on Rumble. Watch the documentary called "Watch the Water." Watch the water on Rumble. Go peep that shit. Look, man, it's no coincidence that these people were able to forecast when COVID was going to hit your city, bro. How do they know that? COVID's going to be here in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You remember them forecasting that shit, bro?
Yeah.
Let me share some.
One thing I wanted to add. One thing I wanted to add to the water conversation is that people don't even know that they actually put bodies into the water. So they actually they take.
You see my video,
bro? No, I haven't seen that video, but I've seen this already. That they take dead bodies. And they
I did a video on this.
And everything, and they put it. They dump it right back into the water.
Yeah, look. This is what they do.
Crazy.
So they're able to. They're able to hydrocremate these bodies, right? They're hydrocremating them, and then they're treating that water, right? Treating that water that they just cremated that body with, and then they're able to dump it back down into the sewer. Well, I don't know if you guys knew, but California, they recycle the sewer water. Yep. What you're showering in is sewer water. That's why there's all kinds of shit in it. Pesticides, feces, blood.
Bro, you know what's so crazy? I was reading this post the other day, and it was like, people need to stop. It's 2024. We need to stop calling people conspiracy theorists because you don't read. You know, straight up, bro. Straight up. It's like the level of ignorance amongst the vast majority of people that don't believe in this stuff. It's just because they don't take the time to read documents or watch panel discussions. The information is out there. Like, this is an example. People that are like, oh, they're not going to make me have a digital identity in the future. Yeah, if you want to do anything, you will have to have a digital identity because, yeah, maybe the government might not force you, but these privately owned businesses and these organizations that you involve yourself with to buy your goods, to freaking buy your clothes, to shop, to do anything with your life are going to require it. And so that's going to require you to have one to use their services. For example, it says our submission, this is from Community Voice Australia Digital ID Bill 2023. Our submission is comprehensive, detailing many aspects of digital transformation currently in play. Digital ID is a linchpin to allow surveillance, monitoring, and collection of data on every aspect of human and non-human life, which is necessary for the digital transformation sweeping the world. All right. And then it goes on to say down here, all the public needs to do is research digital ID, and you will see an array of articles from the United Nations, tech companies, the front for the 1,000 largest global corporations, the World Organization, all stating that digital ID will be mandatory for accessing goods, services, finances, access to internet. The Digital ID Bill 2023, as it stands, for now, allows the incremental mandating of digital ID into a unified digital ID system. So they're trying to say that it's going to be voluntary, but they're trying to prove it's going to be mandatory, because if you want to use anything in the future via these public infrastructures, they're going to require digital identity. So you're not going to have a choice. You know, it's nuts, bro.
Taos Taos is a security firm. They actually make a lot of security stuff for a lot of big corporations. They had a video that they put out a while ago talking about digital identity and how your Taos wallet will be your new best companion, and it will remind you of when to take your next shots. It'll be your digital companion in your personal AI assistant that'll tell you about your banking, about your hold all your documents, hold all your IDs, your credit, your any kind of certification, any kind of anything. It'll be in that wallet, and no one is paying attention.
Nerdy, what wallet did you say? What wallet?
Taos, THALES, Taos wallet.
Okay, we're moving into an era where people have no idea what's actually going on. Like in terms of us, our physical being, our essence, we're being taken over. Like we're captured already. Most people heard of the term IoT, Internet of Things, but not many people have looked into IOB, Internet of Bodies. So when you have your smartwatch on, your smartphone on, copper a bracelet on, anything, these things are now conductors to calculate what your body's doing. Apple has a patent out now for the new headphones, the AirPods, that can what's the words here? It will pick up your biometrics with inside your ear and brainwave and send those signals out to your phone, which then sends that signals out to satellites, and that satellite now.
Bro, I was seeing some creepy stuff on that. They were talking about like advertisement, like they can like directly attack not attack, but like direct advertisement to people because of things that they're thinking.
Yeah, they're doing that in China right now.
Exactly.
Literally.
Yeah. And then wait till Neuralink comes out, man, and people are going to voluntarily.
Well, Neuralink's already out, man. He just got approved. I'm pretty sure to do the gaming or whatever with, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't Elon Musk just get approved?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so the Neuralink is approved. It got all medical.
Almost 100%.
They have a whole robotic system that implants it for you, so there's actually no surgeons involved. Surgeons just overlook the process. But it's all the process of implanting that chip is crazy. They literally just poke probes into different areas of your brain that give electrical signals that interact with the chip.
See, it's right here. Neuralink, first human patient able to control mouse through thinking. Musk says, "Yo, check this out though. You know what? This gets crazier. Okay, so I was trying to show people this." This was a great post from Nerdy. Things that are inevitable: digital financial transformation, digital ID wallets, smart grids, AI robotics. That's a big one. If you're not paying attention to AI right now, you're going to get wrecked. Like everybody intrinsically should be studying artificial intelligence and learning as much about it, because they're going to be the ones, artificial intelligence, reading through your freaking employee applications in the future. They're going to be the ones deciding who gets jobs and who does. Like, do research. You think I'm making this up? Go read some World Economic Forum documents or United Nations documents on job transformation via artificial intelligence. It's going to blow your mind, because the vast majority of people, your job is going to be replaced in the next 5 to 10 years by artificial intelligence.
100.
If you don't have a backup skill or something that can go up against that, what are you going to do? Oh, I know what you're going to do. You're going to go file for unemployment, and you're going to get the universal basic income, right? Via the CBDCs that they're going to usher. I'm telling you, bro, it's all planned, bro. People, oh man, you got
100%. They're doing it right now. They got warehouses right now with forklifts with nobody in it. The shit's running itself, moving shit around efficiently. No lunch break, no workman's comp, no vacation, no 401k they got to pay out. You know how much they're going to save? And to all the small business owners who are listening, man, tap into the artificial intelligence and what it could do for your small business right now. Like, there's so many cool tools that you can utilize right now.
You ever see that movie WALL-E? That cartoon Disney movie WALL-E, where the people are trying to get back to Earth, and they're these like fat bald.
Bro, they're fat slobs. And they're just like going around on carts.
Oh yeah,
bro. Meet the Robinsons. We watched Meet the Robinsons.
Yes.
Great is Meet the Robinsons.
God, I feel so bad laughing, but it's the truth.
Though. It is what it is. It's like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't pick what side of political spectrums. I don't care about none of that. I care about where humanity is going, where we're going as a whole, because that affects everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just trying to inform. Hey, look, guys, look, we're all gonna be screwed. Look,
bro, we're all in this prison together.
Good insight into where we're headed. Just watch that movie, and I'm not advocating for movies, but watch the movie Ready Player One.
Oh, bro.
exactly.
Hold on, Mr. Man. All right, I got you. Right. I'm so happy you brought that up. Okay. So back to Nerdy's post, because at the bottom of this post, he says virtual reality economy. Okay. This is very serious. Everybody needs to be paying attention to this. So if you're not too familiar, okay, this is okay. If you're not involved in the metaverse right now, why not? Because the governments are, the legal entities are, the regulators are. Look at this. This is a freaking event that took place in 2023. The chair of the APPG on blockchain technologies, Natalie, I'm not going to butcher her last name, became the first politician in British history to give a keynote speech. Where? In the metaverse. Okay. And look at this YouTube video. It had 34 views when I watched it. That means I'm one of those 34 people that watched this happen. So governments are having freaking literally governmental bodies in the metaverse right now. Like, it gets deeper. Look at this. So the movie that Mr. Man just pulled up, okay? This is a picture from that movie. This is Ready Player One. It came out when? 2019. What happened in 2019? COVID. What was COVID for? We talked about this. It was to accelerate digital transformation. Okay. Right? They put this movie out. Fast forward to 2024. This is an event that took place in Barcelona. What's the difference? Are y'all kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is real life in an event in Barcelona. Dude is in the metaverse in a suit that literally allows you to feel what you're feeling in the freaking metaverse. Right?
Has he got white Yeezys on too?
Probably, right? Okay, bro. So check this out. It gets even deeper. If we go over, hold on, let me pull up this document because, man, it's nuts what's happening right now.
I got 2 videos for you whenever you're done.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, 100%. But we're gonna be juicing it up all freaking day as long as I can. Let me pull up this other window. I got so many tabs open, bro. Okay. This document was shared in the CyberX private group chat. And man, let me tell you what, this document and many others like it are insane. This is from March 2024. It talks about how you're going to have a fully immersed identity in the metaverse. And they're talking about right now trying to implement laws where you can pretty much choose to be whoever you want to be, as long as you're not a terrorist or labeled on a blacklist. You can go in there and be like, bro, it's nuts.
That's wild.
It's nuts what's happening. And look at, they got little pictures of these little kids. Look, Ready Player One, straight up.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's for sure happening too.
And
Just
this is
wait,
from,
man.
you know,
Like, no one is paying attention, and it's scary. That's the part that scares me the most. It's like everyone's just like, oh, someone's gonna save us and everything's gonna be fine. You know, we live in a Disney movie, and you know the savior's gonna come, and we're gonna be all fine, guys. It's like,
Just wait till the Kardashians put this on and they're doing it. Then everyone's gonna look at this, bro.
it's that easy, bro. It's literally that easy.
It's that easy, bro. It's that easy.
Because if you talk about this too, and you talk about the people, they're like, that won't happen for like years from now. That's 10, 20 years away. And it's like, well, where did you get that time frame? Because I'm reading about it right now.
Yeah,
I'm learning about this right now. It's happening. Like,
you know what another crazy thing is people think that crypto is not going to play a major role in this. And in reality, it's going to be the lifeblood of the Web3 ecosystem. Like, you know, it's just mind blowing that people realistically think that they're going to get rid of crypto, when in reality, it would actually make the way that they do things much more effective and efficient. I'm not going to get into that in detail, but man, crypto just goes so much farther than where we're at in life as a civilization right now. Because if we don't blow ourselves up to smithereens via nuclear warfare in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, people need to understand that the level of technological transformation that we've lived through gets shorter over time. So like, I'm not going to sit here and statistically give everybody the timestamps, but if you just go back 1,000 years comparative to where we're at now, or even just 500 years compared to where we're at now, the technological transformations and the transformations of our society get smaller and smaller and smaller and compact. And we're on the advent of what's called super cycle, where over the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to seem as if 50 to 100 years of technological transformation happened over the next 5 to 10. Right? Like Elon Musk by 2030 is probably going to put people on freaking Mars. How do you think that they're going to usher in payments in Mars when they're like, do you think they're going to take a whole bundle of cash over there?
You ever
Exactly.
notice on Twitter when you
100%.
post a tweet or post it says from Earth?
Yeah.
Like
Bro,
he's getting ready, man. He's ready to go.
Yeah, Ray Dalio talks about that all the time, and no one really watches Ray Dalio, right? Because he's a boomer or whatever people want to call him. But Ray Dalio keeps telling everybody that the next 5 years, not even like as far as people think it is, the next 3 to 5 years, well, the world's gonna look completely different than it does today. Does not scare anybody? Does that like?
No, it doesn't, bro. Because the thing is people don't even know that they're getting left behind. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, people like us that are at the forefront of this technological transformation that are learning. Think about it: 430 million active people in the crypto space right now, give or take, not counting for people that have double wallets or people that made a wallet and haven't touched it or really don't do research and invested in meme coins. The people that are actually like doing research on what's happening, digital transformation, and keeping up with it and investing in the right projects is so minuscule. It's mind-boggling.
I think what people don't realize is that it's like, again, how I was saying how micro things happen to a macro perspective is how when YouTube videos were getting boring and people had a low attention span, so they had to put memes in between different parts of the video to get people laughing and get people attracted to the video to keep their attention span. Well, what that did was psychologically just made everyone really immature, because now people can't even watch anything serious or watch a serious discussion, watch a serious panel, because they're waiting for a meme to come up and amuse them. It's like it's like children now, and
it really stems down to the problem of people not wanting to know themselves. Like for real, bro. Like you like people. How could you not want to know where, regardless of what religion your belief system radicates towards or whatever? Like, we are finite beings with this spirit inside of it, and we're capable of amazing things when we put our mind to it. And like, people don't even have the mental capacity to understand or comprehend that small little bit of information. So it's like they feed off of what's being drip fed them because they need direction, because most people don't know how to direct themselves. It's sad, but it's the truth.
Yeah. Mike said that change is inevitable. Bro, you're 100% fact, because the thing is about when a new technology comes into a space, for example, how you went from candles to light bulbs, and we went from buggies to cars. When that technologies exist and people are aware of it, it doesn't just go away. You can't just put the rabbit back in the box. It's something that's going to be adopted. Why? Because it creates larger profit margins, more convenience, and it's a new technology, and people want to be hip. They want to always move forward. No one wants to move backwards. So when you understand that fact, you understand that the crypto revolution and all this stuff, it does robotics. How do you expect a robot to get paid in micropayments? They're not.
100%.
It's not going to happen.
AI is going to be the main driver and user of cryptocurrency in the future, bro. I mean,
exactly.
You know, AI is going to run our banking, and like, all right, look, AI in the future will run our personal banking.
Yeah,
based on our habits and based on how we set it up. But AI is going to play a huge role, and I'm not mad at it, because if you utilize it correctly, you're going to give yourself more time in the world with yourself, with your family. You know what I mean? Like,
have you guys seen the IMF spring meeting that took place in 2023? Me and Mr. Mann shared this in the private CyberX research chat, and it's a video of them opening up the spring meeting conference at the International Monetary Fund with an artificial intelligence freely speaking. And the artificial intelligence tells the audience that in the future, there will be those that adopt this technology and accelerate with the technology. And then it literally just says, and those that do not, ... frowny face.
Hey, was that Sophia?
No, bro, it was some artificial intelligence that the IMF was using. But anyways, before I let Nerdy share this video that he has to share with everybody, 677 people listening in on this call. We do appreciate the love and the support. Make sure that you all are following all of these gentlemen here. We got Nerdy X, we got Mr. Man, we got Mr. Aquaman. You can follow each of these gentlemen on the X space. So show them some love. Make sure that you do so. I'm not too entirely sure. I know Nerdy has a YouTube. I know Mr. Man's got a YouTube. And I know Mr. Aquaman has experienced some trials and tribulations with TikTok. But make sure that you guys go and check out all their platforms. These gentlemen here, you know, we don't pull up anybody that's filled with a bunch of shenanigans here at CyberX. So, you know, these gentlemen are very valuable in the space when it comes to deep research and where the world's really headed. All right. But yeah, Nerdy, go ahead, man. Share these documents. And then I know that, or share these videos. I know that Mr. Aquaman has some information to share about the future of investing. So we'll get into that as well. And maybe we'll get some insights and perspectives to that degree for the audience as well. But Nerdy, go ahead. What are these videos on, man?
The first one is about the Internet of Bodies, and the second one is about an AI governing council.
Mhm.
How long are they?
This clip is only a minute and 42 seconds.
Sweet, bet. See if
We are living in the age of Internet of Things. Following Moore's law and Bell's law over the past 5 decades, the size of unit computing has been continuously reducing, enabling smart devices. And some of these devices are around, on, or even in our body, forming a subset of Internet of Things called Internet of Bodies, or IoB. These IoB devices are going to transform medical electronics, consumer electronics, augmented and virtual reality, human-computer interaction, brain-machine interfaces. These IoB devices, forming a distributed network around the body, is going to augment human body with superhuman capabilities in decades to come. Purdue Engineering has leading strengths in sensing, computation, communication, actuation, and energy subsystems that is required to enable this IoB vision, including the leading technology of body communication, of using body as a wear that gives us physical security and 100x lower power compared to Bluetooth. We also have leading hardware security and hardware AI centers, as well as a strong ECE and BME department and engineering medicine collaboration with IU School of Medicine. Purdue Engineering has now formed the world's first center of Internet of Bodies to bring all these leading academics and expertise together to propel the future of Internet of Bodies by bringing together connectivity, security, and edge AI to transform and enrich human lives.
Okay, 2 things real quick before you play the next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why, obviously, of course, this stuff doesn't blow my mind is because of the research that I've done on ancient civilizations. There is for a fact, or there was for a fact, someone or something or us at some point in time in our pre-existence that was much smarter than we are today. I mean, if you just go look back at ancient structures and ancient civilizations in the temples in which they built and how they astronomically aligned them to certain star constellations and cut stones and move stones without the technology that we have today, you can clearly tell that they were more advanced than us. So like that leads me to the question, what if all this stuff that we're finding out about ourselves right now and these extensions of our own existence that we're attempting to draft and create right now already existed in the past, and we're really just catching up to where we were thousands of years ago? Bro, it's like because you like okay, so who was that gentleman? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Okay, so regardless of who he was, he's clearly some type of highly intellectual and educated individual. We're just researchers on the internet, you know, and I'm sure that person is probably part of some large organization. And so you have to understand, if researchers on X and on YouTube, like the ones that we are here, you know, I'm a day trader and you guys are investors yourselves, but if we're tapped in, then imagine to what degree these large organizations and governmental entities are tapped into, bro. What?
100%. 100%. This was in 2018. It was crazy. So this is at 2018 at the World Governance Council. They introduced a new, basically a substitute system that maps out every single world leader's face. And when you're watching TV, you'll see them speak and stuff, but you're not watching them. You're watching this artificial intelligence speak for them. That's where we're going towards. I'm just fast forward to that part.
I'm your gateway to HI and the face of within. My story begins with the promises of the information era coming true. Humans built new technological superhighways that reshaped their entire societies. Now they needed something, or dare I say, someone, to navigate these new roads and help transform them into the foundation of civilization 2.0. Enter AI
2.0.
There it is.
Bro,
the beacon of progress of science, innovation, and government bodies worldwide. The decades that followed marked the age of AI, as it rushed towards a new milestone, artificial superintelligence.
A new master? What the?
I know, bro. That's nuts.
Hybrid intelligence, or HI,
Like some Wizard of Oz shit.
Yeah.
pulsating the same immense computational power of superintelligence. HI was nurtured to coexist and collaborate with its human peers. Meticulous guidance by millions.
You know, one thing I will say though is, who does this robot look like? Doesn't it not look like the one from iRobot?
Bro, I said that the other day. Predictive programming. Like shit. Okay. So hold on. Okay, crazy video, nerdy, crazy video. All right, so check this out. Now look, because here at CyberX and the rest of us, we're not just showing y'all videos. I got documents to back up what Nerdy's showing you. Let me show you this real quick. Okay, check this out.
It's nuts, bro. People are not paying attention.
Bro, they're not paying attention. Look at this document just to support what Nerdy just showed y'all. Okay, this is coming from Delta Logic's Insights, Cyber Resilience in Modern Times. And look at what they freaking say is one of the biggest risks. Cybersecurity professionals see the use of malicious deepfakes as a part of an attack on companies, whether it's altering a politician's speech to convey a false message or manufacturing a celebrity endorsement that never occurred. Deepfake technology provides patent weapon in the arsenal of disinformation. What? They're literally trying to tell people that in the future, they can create deepfakes to start wars in this document. It says right here, advanced disinformation campaigns using deepfake technology can be motivated by various interact and multifaceted goals on the geopolitical front. By distorting the statements and actions of political leaders or influential figures, deepfake attacks can sow confusion, undermine trust, and manipulate public opinion. Hold on, run that back, and manipulate public opinion to achieve strategic objectives. So full circle to how we started this call, because if you weren't here at the beginning, now that there's 750 people listening, I pulled up a document from Harvard that goes on to say that these wars are being utilized to enact digital IDs, digital wallets, digital money. What?
Exactly.
No. If I could just jump on this for a minute, I posted a video the other day, and what it is these, what they call themselves is pacemakers. They are the top of the top of the tops that set the pace, and then it trickles down to the rest of the world. And we feel that we're innovating. We're just innovating on top of what these people have already created for us to utilize. Exactly. And when we can tap into AI now on our computer and on our phone and other electronics, but they've already have mirrors set up where you can see, it's a hyperimposed image of yourself in the mirror, and that image connects to algorithms, which connects to your doctor. The doctor can see what you're talking about and hear what you're talking about and automatically prescribe you things, and that shows up at your door without you or your permission even needed. Like, that's where we're going. People are going to be automatically medicated without their consent, man. Like, it's
not even just about, like, when because we're here, we're talking about crypto, we're invested in crypto, and like we're all very intrinsically interested in the future of this digital asset landscape, but like it goes so much deeper than that. Like, just as an example, okay, this is an updated document talking about how the UK public sector must accelerate digital transformation. None of these terms that we're talking about here, the four gentlemen on this call, is coming from us. Like, we're not just waking up in the morning and like, oh, I'm going to go wake the world up about digital transformation and crypto and artificial intelligence because I feel like it. No, it's because it's being broadcasted to us through information that is not publicly noticed. You know, the information that's being pumped out to the masses is not the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Okay.
I love when people tell us it's fake information as if you're sitting there writing these documents out yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing about the Riddlers. Like, if you took that information to like a large asset manager or a financial institution, they would literally hand your portfolio back to you and like tell you to go F yourself. Like, dead ass serious.
Like, leave security.
Like, leave, or we'll call security on you right now. Like, Riddlers, for real? That's what you want to bring here to the algorithms? Anyways, so check this out. Just as an example, and I'm not shilling anything, but this, again, it's talking about the UK public sector must accelerate digital transformation. This is a document from February 2024. Okay. Well, just real quick before I show you what Hedera worked on with the UK government in 2022, what just happened in Iran and Israel? A drone swarm attack, right? Okay, drones are about to be the future of this new future city environment. Like, you're going to get packages with drones. You're going to be able to get medicine with drones. You're going to be able to send drones. Okay, just you get me? So check this out. Hedera Hashgraph forms partnership with the UK government to build air traffic control infrastructure. Right. This is back from 2022. And we know that the UK public sector must do what? They must accelerate digital transformation. So now is the time to be paying attention to who governmental entities are working with in order to enact this digital transformation. Again, I'm not shilling anything. I'm not making this info up, but this is why you should be doing research on these types of distributed ledger technology companies and blockchain protocols. Right. This is another document. Look at this lady right here, just to talk about the metaverse. But what's she controlling? She's controlling a drone, Skies Without Limits. And it talks about drones. This is coming from a major consulting firm, PwC. A fresh look at how drones could impact the UK's economy, jobs, productivity, the quality of life. Okay. And it's not just going to be some public sector that runs all this stuff. This is all going to be run via the private sector initiatives, the distributed ledger technology companies, the crypto natives, the Web3 techs, the fintechs that are all at the forefront right now, which is what the three other gentlemen on this call and myself are trying to freaking show y'all. The government does not have the brains to build this infrastructure. They've been hiring and investing in the private sector for years. If you think our infrastructure, whether it be financial, digital, electronic, cybersecurity, air traffic control, food, runs specifically through the government, something's wrong with you. It's all through sector initiatives, private patents, private companies, this and that. The government hires and funds to run it all.
Exactly. I have a next video if I want to share real quick. That's the one I have for this one. We're talking about the health. This next one is from Deloitte directly. So we all know that Deloitte and Ripple have a partnership, but this is their video about a future of health. And this was actually released like 4 years ago.
This is Maria and her partner, Ruben. Before their day even starts, they are providing a detailed snapshot of their health and wellness to their network. Maria slept great, but Ruben, who has a history of depression and anxiety, tossed and turned all night. Data from his neuroendocrine system shows a spike in cortisol. That may be a sign that he could be headed for a significant depressive episode. So, before he's even awake, his network has placed time in his busy schedule that day to talk with a virtual therapist about ways to reduce his stress. 20 years from now, radically interoperable data and open and secure platforms will allow consumers to own their own journey of health, providing them with a holistic, real-time view of themselves and their environment. A system in which personalized experiences that are highly tailored to one's preferences and needs are the norm, not the exception, and where care and services can be accessed quickly and seamlessly. Consumers are increasingly willing to share their personal data through wearable technology, smart appliances in the home, and even with the home itself. This vast pool of data forms the basis of their personal health profiles, so that changes or deviations can be detected and addressed immediately. This information empowers consumers to take control of their well-being in ways that were impossible in the past, whether it's proactively heading off depressive episodes for Ruben or getting Maria.
You guys get the point, but check this out. So the one thing I really want to point out about predictive programming again is this right here. And how many Netflix films do you watch, series or whatever, do they have a smart mirror that the person is talking to? And everyone is like, oh, I can't wait for that to happen. I want that in my house. Well, where do you think it comes from? It comes from the bank first. So the banks make the structure. They put off that structure to filmmakers or series or whatever entertainment industries. They make something that has their vision, and then people watch it, and then whenever it does come out, they're like, hey, I want to go buy it. That's predictive programming. That's how it works.
I'm trying to find a video because the gentleman in the video that you just displayed, I focus on keywords, and I heard two words: infrastructure and data collection. In order for them to be able to ship out or give you the right information via the prescription that you need or whatever, they're going to need to collect a lot of data.
Mhm.
Well, in a panel discussion that took place just a couple of weeks ago, Lehman Beard, if you don't know who Lehman Beard is, right, the CEO of Hedera Hashgraph, okay, he physically said that Hedera Hashgraph is one of the main players in building out the infrastructure to harvest the vast amount of data that's about to flood into this new Web3 ecosystem. Like,
Wow.
that's what's being built right now. It's not just about, oh, price appreciation on crypto. No, it's like the technology, one within itself, Hedera Hashgraph, and the technology that it provides can build other scalable solutions. And one of those is the collection of and the storing of data.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main key things to this new Web3 ecosystem. Just imagine how many people are going to be utilizing this new frontier in the future on a day-to-day basis. That alone within itself is going to amount to so much data. It's going to be, I mean, dude, it's nuts what's happening, man.
It's funny that you say that, because people don't understand how DAGs work. I'm not talking about Constellation. I'm talking about acyclical graphs. They scale infinitely, so they don't really have any any kind of limitation. So they'll just keep making data and just keep expanding and scaling on and on and on. This is the reason why Constellation is part of the ISAC consortium with the national with the Air Force and Space Force and NASA and all these people, because what Zach is saying is that how much data we're about to produce is not just based upon us, but also based upon the environment that we're in. So the data that your phone makes, the data that your smartwatch makes, the data that your wearables, whatever the hell you're wearing, they're all interconnected. Everything is interoperable with each other, and that is being sent to wherever it's being sent, but it's still scaling. So nothing is truly lost. Everything is there, and then they build a profile based on your data, just like that. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
All right, so that way we can transition. Oh, go ahead. Was Mr. Mann going to say something, or was that Mr. Huckman?
No, I do want to say I got to jump off in 10 minutes. I got to start cooking some dinner, man.
All right, for sure. All right, well, then I'll get your opinion on this real quick before you hop off. So, token due diligence, and then I'll let Mr. Aquaman share some of the stuff that he wants to share about DeFi. Token due diligence to evaluate digital asset risk. This is from February 2024 from EY. If you're not too familiar with who EY is, major consulting firm helping companies and organizations with digital transformation. Plain and simple, right? But scrolling down here, one key little tiny highlight from this. It says right here, with more than 10,000 digital asset tokens tracked by CoinGecko in circulation, it may be difficult to ascertain quality from noise, mimetic from consequential, and groupthink from adoption. Though it may be likely that many of these tokens currently provide no tangible value to holders aside from some form of speculation and community engagement. Only a small subset may revolutionize the world as innovative disintermediation tools with robust value capture. So a lot of us, me, you, Nerdy, and Mr. Aquaman do a lot of research on regulation and whatnot. What do you all think is going to be the near term and long term outcome of these up and coming regulations? Do you think that we see another seismic purge in the digital asset space? To what degree it's going to come, who knows? We're not here to say. But do you think that we operate in a system where meme coins and these coins with no value exist? What's your guys' perspective on a statement like this in the future? And we'll let Mr. Mann go first before we let Mr. Aquaman take over.
Cool. I think Brad Garlinghouse speaks highly about this, where he says that majority of these digital or crypto assets, not digital, crypto assets will just fall off the face of this world because they have only, I want to say, intrinsic value to people. People put their belief and their money into it because they're there to gamble and they're there to speculate, and that's all it is about. That's literally all it is about. I do want to add also that EY, Ernst & Young, have a partnership with Ripple as well, just to throw that out there.
There you go.
It's nuts, man. Yeah. Nerdy, what's your take on it?
From everything that I've read, a lot of this will go away because regulation is king. When regulations come in, and a lot of these documents talk about an abrupt change, significant boom, level playing field, and all this stuff. So whatever does happen and when it happens is gonna happen instantly, and all these companies and corporations who've been building on the back end will just be like, hey, we have this service available now. and it'll just happen, and people won't even realize how the hell we got to this position, or where it was, what's going on, or what's happening. But 100%, a lot of these will just go away.
Yeah, I like that too. You know, a lot of people speculate on these utility driven assets because of the high prices that YouTubers and influencers have pumped out. But one of the actual main reasons why I invest in assets like XRP or like HBAR or like Stellar XLM is because large organizations like Franklin Templeton have openly stated that they chose the Stellar blockchain because of its regulatory compliance, or the fact that an White House representative that has worked on the Obama administration works behind the HBAR Foundation and has handled many legal and regulatory lawsuits for the freaking Obama administration. Like, it's not just, oh, I think HBAR is going to be high price. No, I see them implementing themselves in this space in such a way where they're looking to be regulatory compliant, if not are regulatory compliant, and looking to survive through the regulatory purge that we're currently talking about right now. And that's why I invest in these projects. It has nothing to do with the price appreciation. If that comes, cool, so be it. Great.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's more so about what companies I think are going to survive the next 5 years. That's why I'm investing, if that makes sense. And again, I'm not shilling anything. Don't go out there and buy XRP, XLM, HBAR just because I said it. That's why. It's not because $1,000 XRP. I could care less about that. I trade for that money. If we reach $1,000 XRP, cool, so be it. Yeah, I'll do some fun things with my money, but I invest in XRP because of the problem that it solves and because of the legal battle that they're literally proving in this fight doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So anyways, that's my spiel. Mr. Aquaman. You're muted.
You're muted.
I think you're muted on the actual platform itself.
There you go.
Oh, wait. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. Dude, you know how many times I said something during your video showing and you guys just didn't hear it then? That's wild, man. Oh, man, it's all good. Wait, hold on one second, actually. My son is calling me. Hold on. Yeah, so, dude, regulation is king, man. You know, right now it's the wild, wild west in crypto. And, you know, in some ways, crypto reminds me of cannabis, the cannabis game back in 2016 here in California. It was the wild, wild west. And then the regulations come and everything changes up. But, you know, right now, you know, I don't think people really understand what DeFi really is, you know, and I mean that respectfully because I didn't even really know what it meant either. And what I'm about to say right now is not financial advice at all. This is just information I came across, you know, my opinion only. This is not financial advice. Like any projects I might mention right now, like do not buy it because I mentioned it. Just hear me out. Don't make any moves because I'm saying a project. Just hear me out. That's it. Not financial advice. But look, digital assets are huge. And why I say they're huge is because digital assets are really not meant to just hodl, in my opinion. And the reason why is because digital assets can make us money daily. And how that might be is through DeFi. And it's not like some, you know, quirky shit where it's like, you know, this is a scam. No, this is like legit. You can make money by becoming a liquidity provider to a certain blockchain, to a certain project, and you can get paid a yield monthly, daily, minute by minute, hour by hour. Now, am I saying you should go and take your whole bag and go and become a liquidity provider? No, because there are some huge risks that come with it. But there's risk in everything, all right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
What people are missing right now is that you can get yields that would blow your mind, okay? Like, just for example, you could you were talking about HBAR. Saucer Swap is a DEX for HBAR, okay? HBAR is on that DEX. You can be a liquidity provider through HBAR on the saucer swap DEX and get paid a yield, and a very, very handsome yield, minute by minute, hour by hour. Are there some intricacies to it? Yes. But what nobody is talking about is how we can make our digital assets work right now for us. We're all over here. Well, let's just pray this shit goes to some big numbers in
No,
the
you're facts, bro.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? Just to back what you're saying, I was watching a panel discussion, and I'm pretty sure off the top of my head it was like Goldman Sachs, probably JP Morgan in there. I'm pretty sure we had a Wells Fargo representative. Anyways, you guys get the gist. It was a large financial organization panel discussion, and what they were talking about is how the old way of gaining yield on traditional investments, it's dying. It's not keeping up with inflation, and these banks and financial institutions, they understand that, and they're going to want new places to park their capital along with their customers, and their customers are seeing the value in what Mr. Aquaman saying, like, why would I want to park my money in a traditional investment that gets 5% annual return when I could park it in a DeFi liquidity pool and make 80% APY, you know? And these and another thing that I was watching is these banks and financial institutions, they are, two things drive them. Oh, well, three things, collectively speaking: risk management, client demand, and money, right? They want to make money. They want to make profit. They're profit driven. Okay. And so if they can manage the risk properly, which is where regulations come in, which we all know are coming, right? Regulations that can support financial institution liquidity and a sound, solid infrastructure for them to actually onboard. Client demand picks up, which will come with the technological transformation and more people spreading the word, and then probably another crisis that enacts further digital acceleration. Client demand will pick up. And then last but not least, profit. They will want the profit, so they will come. And when that, like, it's coming. I don't understand how people don't see it. It's coming. You know, it's just a matter of time. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but what Mr. Aquaman is talking about, these DeFi liquidity pools, I'm just now getting involved in researching them and whatnot. But it's nuts, the amount of yield. And again, obviously, of course, assess your risk properly. Like he said, don't go and put your whole entire long-term bag in it. But if you're complaining about the lack thereof of appreciation in your portfolio right now because you're just a hodler, there's other ways you can go about making money. You could trade, which not a lot of people want to do because it requires time and learning and education. People don't want to do that. So, you know, that's most likely out of the books. But if you're lazy and you want to make capital appreciation just by parking your capital on something, you have that option too. Mr. Aquaman, take it away. I mean, it's nuts what he's been researching lately.
Yeah, man. You know, it's just like there's people that are treating DeFi like a business. They are getting yield on yield. That is my new favorite saying, yield on yield. I want to make double yield. Do you feel me? Like, this is what the banks have been doing with our money this entire time. This is the exact reason why they got riddles and a bunch of shit to distract everybody that's in crypto that have probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in their cold wallets just stored away, not doing a damn thing for them. You know what that's considered? That's like buying a rental property and never renting it out and just hoping it goes to $1 million one day and then you'll sell it then. That's my opinion on these digital assets now. These digital assets need to work for us. Scared money don't make money, baby. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yield on yield.
Hyping me up, bro. I swear to God, I'll send the transaction right now.
It's creating cash flow.
Yeah.
You know, all right. So, like, for example, you can go on DeFi Llama right now and you could look at all the liquidity. It makes perfect sense on why Solana is the price where it's at. Go look at the liquidity on that chain right now on DeFi Llama. It makes sense why Ethereum is where it's at, because you go on DeFi Llama and you go look at all the liquidity and it's there. So like, and half the battle in becoming a liquidity provider, half the battle is finding the correct projects. So for the past year, I'm over here researching projects. the ins and outs of them, not even knowing about this side of things. And that is the biggest thing that they research. There are some confluences that you have to pay attention to as well, but the confluences are not anywhere near the intricacies of being a day trader. I'll tell you that.
Which is a fucking lot. Trust me, that's what I do for a living.
Because you got to time the perfect. You know what? Let me tell you guys something about becoming a liquidity provider. Unless you're using leverage, which I don't recommend ever. I'm never gonna fuck with that shit. Leverage is like, you know what I mean? But like, you become a liquidity provider and you get into HBAR, for example, and the price goes because you get paid fees when the price is within a range. So if that price stays within a range, your pair that you picked, you'll get paid on those fees. Now, if the price goes out of range, or if the project dips down in price and it takes you out, guess what you just did now? You just dollar cost averaged without knowing into a project that you're already like all in on, right? And then you just reposition. Yeah, you have the value of your bag is worth less, but you have more assets. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but hopefully it does. But it'll make more sense as I speak to you guys about it. But like it's not like you're like the only way that you could lose your complete liquidity is if that DEX was fraud, right?
Yeah.
Or that if you're fucking with stable coins, that the stable coin gets depegged.
Yeah.
Right. So like those are like, but if you're researching these projects, it's like if you have conviction in this project, why wouldn't you put 20% and create a yield? And regardless, you can live off of that, pay some bills with that, or hey, guess what? You can buy more of that project that you have conviction in.
So you can refunnel it back in.
And that's the yield on yield, because then we just made the yield and then I'm gonna put it here. And then when the bull run goes, boom. And then I'm for sure taking profits.
Yeah. I want to capitalize on something you said though, bro, because you're part of CyberX and you know what we do behind the scenes, you know what we do with leverage. All right. So I think, and again, this isn't financial advice, but this is just the approach that I've taken. And this just revolves all the way back to the beginning of this conversation, that eventually artificial intelligence is going to take over. It's going to replace a lot of jobs. And we as people, as finite beings, should attempt to figure out how to accelerate in this life financially to multiple avenues of approach. It shouldn't just be long-term investing. It shouldn't just be leveraging. It shouldn't just be day trading. It shouldn't just be yield farming and DeFi investing. It should be all three. You should be figuring out right now how to do everything. So back to what you said about leverage, where you said leverage, right? I don't agree with that at all. Why? Okay. Because let me back it. I've been a profitable trader now for 4.5 years, and leverage has completely changed my life. But because I've learned how to use it properly and I don't take advantage of it, and I've let the market humble me, I understand how to implement and use a stop loss. I manage my risk properly. That means that when I take on leverage, I never expose more than 1% or 0.5% of my overall portfolio. So if I have $100,000 account, I never risk more than $1,000. So that way, if I lose a trade that I'm in using leverage and my position gets liquidated, it's a $1,000 loss. On a $100,000 account, I'm willing to risk 1%, which is $1,000. And so again, managing risk properly when using leverage is a plus, because if I'm risking 1% to make 3%, and I can make that $3,000 based off of knowing fundamentals properly, applying sound technical analysis, being patient and waiting for the right setup, and I can take that and execute that. Risking $1,000 to make 3 or 4, I'm game for that. And I've mastered that over the past 4 years, especially during the pandemic. And I highly, again, not financial advice, recommend that people look into it, because it has allowed me to financially free myself and grow my long-term bags, right? I can leverage my trades, make money off the internet, and plug that money into long-term positions, which has allowed me to further my long-term bags. The second thing is managing greed. The vast majority of people that trade leverage, they get into positions and they see $1,000 on their screen and they only put $10 in, and they can't pull that $1,000 because they're mentally unstable. They don't have themselves mastered. They don't know what they want to accomplish. So they see that $1,000 profit and they want it to go to 10,000. And so they hold the trade. The trade ends up going in the other direction. And then when they're in their stop loss or the trade's down, what then do they attempt to do? They then marry a bias and they think, oh, the trade's going to go back in my favor. Let me just hold it a little bit longer. And then the leverage eats their account more and more and more. So back to what you said about fuck leverage. I don't agree with that. I think that people should take a mature approach with leverage and learn how to use it and implement it properly, like many others before them have. Learn from a educated individual about leverage and learn how to use it to your benefit instead of running from it and being afraid of it, not afraid of it, but knocking it as an investment approach to grow your wealth in this digital transformation.
Yeah, you make perfect sense. And I'll be real with you, just taking a bird's eye view, like, again, I've only been in crypto. I know I've really hockey stick growth with my learning capabilities, but I've only been in crypto for just over a year now. You know what I mean? So my confidence level with trading, I'm still learning. I'm in the CyberX University. My confidence level with, what I'm learning about DeFi and all that stuff, my mentality now is definitely like stay away from that until I gain the confidence and I do learn. And then, you know what? You're right. I'm definitely going to be right there behind you. Like, you know what? I'm going to risk this because at that point I'll have a better understanding of the market. But this is just where my mentality is at now. But it's again, because, I'm still technically new.
It's steps, bro. I mean? Like, I feel like the first step is HODL. The second step probably should definitely be DeFi gaining yield on your investment. So that way it's not just sitting collecting dust. And then the third step, once you have the capital, I mean, think about it. This is why, let me just tell you a little bit about myself real quick. So you understand why I even took on leverage trading.
Hold on, can I just take off, Cypress? I got to take off, all right?
And no, 100%. Bro, thank you so much. If you want to say anything to the people before you dip, man.
Later, Mr. Man.
All right, you guys have a good one. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thanks, man. Take it easy, brother. Appreciate you.
Peace.
I experienced some not monumental life-changing wealth the last bull run, but I was able to pay off my debt, quit my job, and make enough capital appreciation to support my entrepreneurship journey, right? Okay, but I realized at the time, had I have mastered trading before then, I could have used that capital, trading it with, again, proper risk management, proper mentality to scale and grow it. So think about this. If I had $1 million and I learned an effective strategy in the markets to pool 1% per month, what's 1% of $1 million? $10,000, right? So that means I would only need to take one leverage trade per month. Obviously, of course, considering that it goes in my favor, to make 10 grand per month. I didn't know that back last bull market cycle when I made a significant amount of money and I had that. I hadn't mastered trading yet, so I was unable to do that. Now, looking at where I'm at in life, next time I have $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, I'm going to take a portion of that. It won't be $5 million, my whole entire chunk of capital, but I could definitely take $1 million, risk 1% like I'm doing now on 6-figure accounts, do that on 7-figure accounts and make 6 figures per month. Take that money and stick that into yielding platforms and let that further grow. I'm telling you, there's a mastermind behind this. And just like you said, there's levels. Trading and using leverage is probably one of the highest degrees, if not the highest degree approach that you can take to making money in this market, because it takes time, it takes education. You have to learn the ins and outs of the market. You have to find a strategy that works. And then obviously, of course, you have to have the time to sit at the computer and actually place the trades or on your phone. And that all obviously, of course, is something that 95% of people don't have.
That's real.
Nice. So you're just leveraging and then first you leverage, make your gains and then compound after that.
Exactly, bro. I find products or projects like Mr. Aquaman's talking about and gain yield on them. Like, bro, I've been staking Casper and HBAR for like 2.5 years now. And it's nuts.
And staking is pretty much the same thing. You're providing liquidity. It's a little bit different type of providing liquidity, but it's the same thing. Like you're getting a yield off of that. And like, I remember when I first got into the space, my mind was looking at like staking, and I was like, oh shit, like if I hit 1 million, because like I'm thinking like a businessman, bro. I'm not thinking when I get this money, I'm gonna go get Lambos, this, that, and other thing. Like I already got money, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to increase my money. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So my thinking in the very beginning coming into the space, I was looking at staking as like, oh man, that's gonna be a great tool for when I have millions. And then I remember speaking on it on a few platforms, and people were just kind of shutting me down, like, no, don't, you need to hodl it, put it in your cold storage and forget about it, and not your keys, not your crypto. And I agree with that, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like, because like you look to the left and you're like, wait a second, I could put my money right here for 30 days or take it out at any moment and get 400% yield. Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, bro, that goes back to what you were saying. Like, the risk, obviously, of course, no reward. You're not willing to take the risk, then there's not going to be a reward. But don't have separate portfolios. This is what we're trying to capitalize on. Don't just go and build one portfolio in DeFi staking and lending. Have a portfolio where you hodl and you can dollar cost average into that. And yeah, you can hold some XRP and HBAR and this and that in a cold store wallet and never touch it. But then also don't set yourself on the sidelines because you're scared to lose money by not jumping into DeFi lending platforms that allow you to grow your wealth,
Dude, there's people right now that I would say that if they taught themselves this, they probably have a healthy enough portfolio to like walk away from their day job right now, and they're just not aware of it. And all they got to do is just put themselves into this space and learn what I'm learning the past 2 weeks. Because when you learn what I've learned, you're going to be like, holy smokes. And then when you start moving the stuff around on your phone, and then your wallet connects to all these different dexes, and then like you really start seeing how the blockchains are working and like the different highways on the blockchain, bro, it starts making so much sense. When I hear Brad Garlinghouse's voice say interoperability, I'm like, yep. And I've actually used it. Like, you know what I mean? Because bro, it's so wild, bro. Like imagine Wells Fargo being able to log into Bank of America. Like that's not possible right now, but with this it is.
Wow. I want to talk about something real quick. It's funny that you bring that up. This is directly from Plaid. Just real quick, it says the most popular A2A, which is account to account payment rails, which means which means payments are sent and automated clearinghouse ACH and paper checks. So they're talking about the new generation won't even know about checks and everything. They'll just be using clearinghouses like Zelle and all that stuff. Checks are the original A2A payment, and the ACH is the next evolution, the digitized check. Many adults are remembering getting checks in an envelope from their relatives on a birthday and holiday. The younger generation may not experience that, instead getting Venmo or PayPal transfers. Both ACH and checks are low-cost options, but take hours or days to settle. There are also real-time payments and represent the next evolution of A2A payment rails. The real-time payment rails include the Clearinghouse Real-Time Payment RTP network, which can instantly send payments, but for higher fees than ACH. The Federal Reserve is also launching a real-time payment rail called FedNow, scheduled to release. Consumers come into account with RTP when they're given the option to transfer their money from an app like Venmo or PayPal. So they're basically telling you from Plaid, their website themselves. You guys can go and read the whole thing. But what we're moving into is this whole digital transformation doesn't just speed up for big businesses, but it's going to make our lives different completely how we view things. So, for example, that you're working, you're at a job, and your job that you hopped in on the VR, and you work your 8-hour schedule, your 4-hour schedule. Well, guess what? You just got paid and taxed instantly. Boom, just like that.
Facts. There's two things in the chat that I want to capitalize on. Mike said sounds easy. I know that he was most likely joking because after that he said education is key, but just know that none of this is easy. Like trading, hodling, or gaining yield on your holdings is easy. Onboarding into this digital asset space, one within itself, is not easy right now. That means if I just go up to an average everyday person and ask them anything about crypto, they're not going to know. But if that conversation sparks their interest to come and get involved in this space, they're going to have to at least watch 5 to 10 YouTube videos to even understand anything about this space without getting completely wrecked. And that one within itself makes this space very not easy. So like, don't think that just because we're sitting here and I've been involved in this space since 2016 and I'm talking about how I make money and the way that I do it now is easy. It's easy for me now, but it wasn't 5, 6, 7 years ago. It took hard work, dedication, me coming to these markets every day, sitting at my computer for 8, 9 hours a day, studying this stuff, crying, losing money, going through trials and tribulations in my life, not spending time with my family members and neglecting them so I can be here at the chart studying this information. Like, this is not easy. Don't let anybody manipulate you into thinking that you're just going to download a fucking application on your phone, plug $500 into it, and become wealthy overnight. You will get wrecked. You will not survive. And there's so many more other parts to that. Let me touch base on this real quick before I capitalize on something that Joanna said. It's that if you're just downloading an application like Uphold or Coinbase on your phone and you only have one bank account and you are taking those coins, those digital assets that you are buying from those 2 exchanges and putting them into a cold storage wallet, and you think that you're going to survive after regulations and 5, 10 years from now, you're wrong. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Most exchanges like Uphold, like Coinbase, are not going to be in their stages now. And I don't know the future, right? So could they upgrade? Sure. But when institutional liquidity actually comes into this space and this market transforms into a multi-trillion-dollar market, which it will, in my personal opinion, most exchanges that are in operation now won't be able to handle that amount of liquidity. What I mean by that, if you do become a multi-millionaire, you think you're going to be able to liquidate that portfolio on Uphold? No. You might over the course of an entire year or 2 years because Uphold has withdrawal limits, but you're not going to be able to sell that entire portfolio through Uphold in one day. So don't you think it would behoove you to start to look into over-the-counter brokers or exchanges that provide multiple liquidity pools so that way you can actually withdraw a $50 million portfolio in one wire transfer? Because I have, and I know that my community has, because we're awake and aware to the fact that the vast majority of people that are involved in the space right now won't survive because they're not taking the precautionary measures and the mature measures to actually survive long term. They just think that it's about downloading an app, plugging $1,000 in, building it up on Coinbase and sending it. No, you need to have multiple bank accounts, because vast majority of bank accounts now, if you send $1 million crypto transaction to it, they will freeze your shit up and flag you for terrorism. Most people don't even know that because they haven't handled that amount of money. I've been through that. I've been through that personally, where I sent a very large 6-figure transaction last bull market cycle to a bank without warning my bank first that I was going to do that, and I wasn't able to access those funds for like 3.5 weeks till I cleared all that up and had to show them documentation of where that money trail came from. Like, you have to understand that we're about to be in a system that's going to be tracked, controlled, and monitored. So this next bull market cycle, you do become a multimillionaire, you better have a foundation in place, multiple bank accounts, multiple liquidity providers to liquidate your portfolio, KYC'd into multiple exchanges, into multiple cold storage wallets and all this stuff. If you don't have these things, multiple cell phones in case one of your cell phones goes down, like you're gonna get wrecked. You're gonna get wrecked. I'm telling people just think, bro, I'm telling you, people are like, oh, I'm gonna download the app. No.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. And you know, I'll say this too. A lot of people, you know, probably hear, oh, yeah, I know about DeFi. Yeah, decentralized finance. Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you knew what DeFi really is, you would have a DeFi business right now with money flow coming through. So do yourself a favor, look past that, and take your extra time and your free time and dive into this information, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, it really is, because this is what I think is going to happen. There's these huge yields right now that you can make right now off of providing liquidity. And the reason why is because the banks, they ain't doing that just yet, right? Like, you can tell. But once they do that, those high yields are going to go away. So
Yep.
To make money there is going to go away unless you had money to come in, millions of dollars to get the small percentage that they're going to probably pay out. But I'll guarantee you it's not going to be in the hundreds and you know what I mean, 5-10 years from now. I mean, if it is, then thank you, hallelujah. But like, I don't know how long that's going to last, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like the opportunity is now, not tomorrow. It's now.
It should be everybody's goal to make money in their sleep.
Bro, like the past 2 weeks, I have not slept. I go to sleep literally midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock sometimes. Last night it was 1 o'clock. I woke up this morning at 4:30 because I have a newborn daughter as well too, right? So she was up and I was like, you know what? It's time to get up because I'm learning something right now. It's just so fascinating to my soul and to like I don't have to motivate myself, man. I'm like getting up like with zero motivation. You know what I mean?
That's what I was telling you about earlier, man. Like the four of us who were on this call. I know Mr. Man bounced because he's got to go. He's on the East Coast, so it's late for him. You got to understand, bro, that like the people that are taking this serious now are the ones who are going to survive. The people who think that this is just some gamble or some get rich quick scheme are gonna find out the hard way. And I'm not saying that the vast majority of us aren't, because we could still all experience some trials and tribulations. I want to bring up a comment in the chat from Joanna, where she said, in her opinion, cryptocurrencies are all still the Wild West with no legislation. To some degree, that is correct. But also, you have to think about it like this. If crypto was going to go away, it would already not exist.
Exactly.
What do I mean by that? The regulators have the power right now, and they've had the power for the last 16 years that crypto's been around, to get rid of crypto. They're not going to get rid of crypto. That's not their goal. Their goal is not to get rid of crypto. We've had that confirmation from last year. International Monetary Fund managing director, flat out say at a panel discussion in Korea that took place where they're talking about this digital transformation, that they're not here to crush crypto with regulations. They're here to build a system where other large organizations and global jurisdictions can feel safe using the technology without getting rug pulled, right?
Exactly.
And so to what degree that stems to in the future, I can't debate that. You know, I could sit here and do research on the projects that I think are going to survive. And just like you all, I can hope that they survive. You know, I have a firm belief that the ones that I'm invested in are going to, but I'm sure that so does every other single freaking person.
Yeah.
But then to stem back to what Mr. Aquaman was saying, you got to be willing to take the risk. If you're not, then this ain't never going to work for you. If you're just going to sit on the sideline and think, like you want to have fiat, by all means. We already know that the Bank of International Settlements general manager literally 2 weeks ago told the entire world fiat's fake anyways. You know, so I'd rather have my money parked in digital assets with the potential to experience this massive transfer of wealth and be right than risk the feeling that I would have if I knew about this and I missed the opportunity. Do you know how stupid you would feel if in 10 years from now, you look back and you were like, dang, if I just had invested $1,000 into this project, I'd be a multi-billionaire right now. And knowing that you knew that,
bro,
hey, for real.
That's how I feel about Bitcoin, because I knew about Bitcoin way before it popped off.
Yeah, and me either, man. I wish I would have, man.
And I did nothing with it. I thought it was magic internet money. I thought, oh, this is not going to survive. And look where it's at now. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
Hey, I low-key got upset with my homie because he knew about Bitcoin back in I forget what year it was. And then I found out last year when I was involved in crypto that he knew about it. And I was like, hey, bro, why don't you ever tell me about Bitcoin, bro? Like, I got really upset.
Like, we're experiencing right now the birth of a new asset class.
Yep,
and in nobody's lifetime, most likely on this call, has that ever happened. You've most likely never experienced the birth of a new asset class. So if you can take that into consideration via what's happening right now and what has to happen in order for this to be successful, you will stop focusing on the now. Unless you're a day trader or you're trying to commit yourself to what Mr. Aquaman is talking about, which is gaining yield on your portfolio. So you're going to have to move things around. You might have to readjust your portfolio every single month or every single quarter. So you have to be a little bit more hands-on. But if you're not a day trader and you're not a yield earner or looking to stake inside of liquidity pools, then like I mean, this is nuts. This is going to take time. For anybody to think that this isn't going to take time, you're delusional. You've been lied to by Twitter, by YouTube enthusiasts, children in their basement, you know, that keep telling you that XRP is going to be $1,000, which I am a firm believer. Don't anybody knock me of a higher XRP valuation and many other utility driven assets. But I understand the reality of it. And the reality of it is that we suffer from the lack or from overestimating the short term and underestimating the long term. You know, this isn't going to be some overnight, tomorrow they're going to pump these assets. If we are correct, which I have a firm belief we are in the future, 2025, 2030 agenda, 2035 agenda and beyond, then it's going to take freaking time, bro. Like the whole entire layer for them to even do this. It's got to be laid. And that within itself, just, you think is going to be, a couple meetings here and there? No, fuck no.
There's two things. One thing is that Christine Choi, no one knows who Christine Choi is. She's the one who created a JPM coin. And she was having these meetings and she was saying that eventually it'll come to the point where they won't even have any meetings because people will be using it and it will be no point to even have the meetings. The meetings that they're having today are the meetings that they're going to have now. Second thing is that the Atlantic Council actually has a whole project called the Bretton Woods 2.0. And that's another rabbit hole in itself. Another thing is when I was going through all the IMF documents and all that stuff, well, this actually goes back. So people don't really understand that this whole real-time payment stuff, it all started in 1977 with the Zingy system in Japan. So Japan has a lot to do with this stuff. And what the main problem was with all this separation, and the biggest part is sanctions. So what countries don't like is like, for example, Russia. Russia has like 880 billion that we're holding hostage. The problem with that is that Russia's like, give me back my money. That's my money. I can use to help. I can help my people. But we're holding their money hostage. And what they're going towards is called a national clearinghouse, where each country will have their own clearinghouse that talks to each other. And so if someone were to bring up sanctions or would do whatever, you go ahead and do it. It's fine. But I still have control over my money. And that's what we're going towards. And that's how the dollar itself gets challenged, because we've seen through all the geopolitical stuff that happened over the world was the dollar itself and the power that it holds is being ran and being pushed as more like a mob situation. Whereas if you don't do what I want to do, you're exited. You're going to catch you out from trade. We're going to cut you out from this amount of money. People don't really understand that these assets that are happening, they're not just get rich schemes, but the actual assets for the protocol to work. So without these assets, the protocol itself and whatever they're trying to do does not even operate at all. So if you understand to that extent of why these are needed, then the price action doesn't matter, because the price is going to come with it.
Facts.
Nerdy, I sent you a video just now through X. I'm going to need you to pull it up to play the audio, because for some reason my computer won't do it. I think it's because I have my laptop pulled over to a separate monitor. But just to back what you're saying, because again, this whole entire call, we've been pulling up documents. We've been showing you guys the proof via these systemically important organizations and these panel discussions. We're not just here making this shit up. Like, we're not just waking up in the morning like, oh, we should just warn people about digital transformation because it's going to benefit us. Like, Twitter pay. Do you know how much Twitter pays me every single freaking month for making the content I make on Twitter for you guys? Freaking like $15. You think I'm doing this for fucking money? I could care less, like straight up.
Yeah.
So,
I make money. I just for free. I just do that out of passion for humanity. Just to show hey, you don't want to miss this out, because if you miss this out, you've missed, and there's no going back. It's not like you can just go back in time.
We're paying it forward. You know what I mean? We're paying it forward because we're like real true humanitarians. We really care about our brothers and sisters. Like,
all right, go to 29 minutes and 45 seconds. A second ago, when you said that they've known about this since the late 1900s, this guy goes on to say that we knew the blockchain technology takeover would happen, and he says that they've known this since 1991.
Wow.
So just to give you guys a perspective, for all of you individuals that are like, oh, I'm tired of hearing we're early, like, you have to understand this has been a fucking plan since before probably most people were born. This isn't some joke. This isn't some oh, it just
No.
happened in 2008, 2009 when Satoshi Nakamoto came out with Bitcoin. No, this is way before then.
Exactly. The National Clearinghouse idea came back from 1943. So think about that. And they called it the New Liberal Order. That's what it was
Yeah.
labeled under.
It's like a 30-second clip here with just the
Right.
part where he says, we know that this would happen since 1991. And then you'll play a second clip. 1730, he goes on to say, blockchain will be a part of the new digital world. And then at 2659, I'll give you these timestamps again. He says the banks will have no choice but to adopt. And this falls back to what Mr. Aquaman is talking about, how these financial institutions, they're realizing like the fiat system, it's no more. It's not giving high yield on traditional investments the way that DeFi can. And they're going to piece of that.
Hey, look, let me ask you guys this too. Right now, if let's just say if you had $100,000 in your bank and you go to the bank right now and you say, hey, can I borrow money against my own money? What will they tell you?
No.
No. Are you crazy?
Did you know that you can borrow against your assets right now? And it happens in real time the moment you make a decision and you click the button because of smart contracts and the blockchain, because everything is there on the chain through smart contracts. When you start moving your money around from wallet to wallet, again, you really start to understand what you're really buying, like what you're really involved in. And I don't think anyone really will until they do so, or unless you're a trader, you're moving stuff around. Like, unless you're not, if you're not doing that and you're just going off of maybe like a YouTube video or the homework you're doing, I would encourage you to take like $100 and just go play with it and move it around within like they're like when you go on one of your wallets, it's called dApps. It'll be D and then APP, like it's decentralized apps, right? And those dApps, bro, oh my God, the dApps are so fun and enticing. And because they're so colorful and artwork, like going back to Saucer Swap, that's one of like, you go in there and there's like these cool aliens, hype like neon green, and like, and just like there's like a whole new world, bro. And man,
the crazy part is the interest rate on it is very low. Like you don't pay you don't pay a very high interest rate on it to pay it back, and you have a very prolonged period of time too,
unlimited time to pay it back, and it's 1%.
Terms are unlimited. It's crazy.
And another thing to add for what you guys are saying is that if you understood how the old world worked, for example, like having a trust or having life insurance and getting loans off your own life insurance and setting up that kind of structure, you're in a point in time where you know about new technology that they don't know about, but also you can use their old methods and incorporate with this new method to have a whole different system of just safeguarding and just risk management that was never possible before, which is amazing.
It's mind-blowing, man.
It's fucking mind-blowing.
Imagine if this, like some businesses and big corporations, they invest their money, right? They that's how these corporations grow, because they take their earnings and invest it yield on yield, right? So like we could do the same. You know what I mean? Like, man.
I think it's funny too, because you'll have the group of people that are like, oh, crypto's fake and crypto's not real. Motherfucker, money's not real. Fucking fiat money is not real.
I don't think it's real.
And that's not coming from me. That's coming from the Bank of International Settlements managing director. Like, I will literally pull that up. It's right on my Twitter. He said literally 2 weeks ago to the world, fiat money has no intrinsic value. It only has value because people think it has value.
Exactly.
What's the difference? So if people think crypto has value, it's going to have value, which right now there's over 430 million active crypto users that think it has value. And look, every single financial institution, every large organization is on the cusp right now of understanding that it's about to have value. So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Come on now. It ain't hard to pick up the pieces, ladies and gentlemen. And then like if you're one of those people that's like, oh, crypto is fake, you're literally living in a matrix right now with the money and the debit card in your pocket, just as fake as crypto. It's all fake.
You know what's even crazier about that is if you listen to the FDIC meetings, the FDI meetings say themselves that wait till people find out that we can't insure anybody.
Yeah, I played that clip the other day on YouTube, bro.
That's so insane. So these people themselves are holding governance meetings with Europe, right? So you have Europeans coming in, European financial officials that's being blasted on their screen or whatever, and they're all talking about it as a joint venture as, hey, How are we going to protect ourselves, this table? How are we going to protect ourselves when the people realize that there is no money, there is no insurance? If we do bail-ins and that's it for them, how are we going to safeguard ourselves? And it blows my mind, and I feel so bad that no one is paying attention.
You know what the crazy part is, bro? 134 views on videos like that.
Yeah,
150 views.
It's insane.
20 views.
But if you have a video of Beyonce or someone doing donuts, you have like 1 million views. It's like
sad, bro. It goes back to the people. They don't.
It makes no sense.
People don't want to. They don't want to know themselves, man. They don't want to know what they're truly capable of. Like, we as a population, as a civilization, are capable of phenomenal things. We should be so much farther along the road than where we're at now. Like
100%.
Trash, poverty in our cities, hunger, all this stuff could all be solved with the technology that we have right now. It's just the fact that the elite organizations in control of this world, they don't allow the little tiny masses to have access to it. But if we all flip the script tomorrow and we woke up and we're like, nah, we want that. We're tired of paying for your gas. We want there's literally been a dude who got killed after he invented a hydro engine, an engine that runs on freaking water. Go look this up. I'm not making this up.
No, you're not capping, bro. I looked into that.
So if tomorrow we all woke up and we were like, we ain't paying for y'all's gas no more, we're not driving to work, the whole entire system would shut down.
Exactly.
And if we all protested tomorrow about water vehicles, they'd give us water vehicles because their system would have to be a very large percentage of the population. It couldn't just be like a couple million people. It would have to be like everybody in the United States plus some parts of Europe and Asia and so on and so forth. But if we did that, if we all woke up as a collective whole, we could take the power back in our hands. And that's what people don't understand. And I know that it sounds very conspiratorial to get people all on the same thinking level because it's really unrealistic. It's not ever going to happen.
Exactly.
But if it did,
imagine the change, right? Imagine how beautiful the world would be in. And another thing that people don't understand is that homelessness itself is a business. So in order for a politician to get more money or get more grants or get more bills or funding or whatever, they need to have a reason to get it. So that's why you have wars. That's why you have all these political events, or that's why you have poverty and all this stuff. Poverty itself is a business, and not a lot of people realize that. So for a politician to come out and say, I'm going to solve homelessness, I'm going to solve XYZ, it's all garbage. All of it is garbage.
Yeah, if they really cared, bro, they would have parks with like cement housing and like apple trees and orange trees. And like, you know what I mean? There's so many things that they could do as resources for people who would rather live that life because of indoctrination and other bullshit that's happened to them through a system that these monsters have created, man. Straight up.
It's really sad, man. Go ahead, Nerdy.
You're talking about earlier, we're talking about awakening moment. What was your awakening moment? Well, that was one of my awakening moments, to realize that no one gives two shits about anybody. Nobody cares about nobody. Everyone is worrying about their own selves. And if we're going to live in a world like that, what do you think is going to happen? We're obviously going to have what we're having today until the moment that we come together and be like, hey, how do we solve this? And stop arguing and bickering and try to figure out solutions and actually have a council like where we're supposed to. This like the fundamentals of what this country was based upon. If we don't go back to that, then we're basically just in a car that's on fire. No one's on the driving wheel, and everyone's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know. But it's
so fucking sad, bro. Fuck. Crazy. I don't admit this a lot on the internet, but being a fucking influencer and being a researcher in this space, and even being an active entrepreneur and day trader in this time and age, is like sometimes it gets really fucking depressing. Not because I'm a depressed person, but because it's like, dude, how do more people not see this, bro?
Exactly.
Like, how is there only 1,000 people on this call and I have 30,000 subscribers and I haven't ever paid for bots? You know, I get people are obviously, of course, busy with their lives and stuff, but why aren't more people tap the F in, bro?
Man, for
nobody
real.
Cares.
Nobody cares, bro.
Nobody cares.
It's frustrating, man. It's because I'm intrinsically the type of person all my life, even when I was brainwashed, where I always want to help others. I've always wanted to grow and scale and deliver a helping hand and help someone in the dark find the light. That's just been my calling. And so like, that's why I've created Cyprex, and that's why I've done this research, is because I feel like I'm really enlightening people to to see what the world is really. But it's like, dude, it's so crazy that not enough people are tapped in, man. It's concerning. It's really concerning. And I you know, to go back to the artificial intelligence talk that we were having earlier about deep fakes and all of this stuff. And I know that going down the conspiratorial hole of artificial intelligence taking over the civilization is another nutshell one within itself. But it's like, is it really that unrealistic to see that that's the reality that we're headed to? I mean, we can't even keep ourselves above fucking water.
Check this out. Check this out. I know this sounds really messed up, okay? I know this will sound very sinister, but check this out. When you had the BLM stuff happen, right? That was a huge social experiment. You had the 2020 stuff happen, huge social experiment. When you yourself in your governing bodies and your council know that you have so much power over the people, why would you not take advantage of it? If you were in that same position, wouldn't you not do the same thing? Wouldn't you not understand that, hey, I don't even have a choice. I have to comply, because if I don't comply, I'm going to lose everything. And I know what side of the fence I'm going to be in. So in that aspect, it's very sinister. It's very dark. But at the same time, you have to understand that in order for them to have a change or to want to change, there has to be a reason for it. But if no one cares about each other and people are just walking blindly like zombies, doing the same thing over and over again, you think people are not going to take advantage of that over and over and over again? Come on, people. You have to be real. That's just, it is what it is, right? That gets me depressed.
It's depressing in a sense of like, something too that I've realized, especially having been in the military, is without the system, we as these intrinsic human beings wouldn't be able to thrive and survive off of their system, like, which allows me to stay motivated and keep pumping and keep doing what I'm doing, because it's allowed me to build a business and create passive income and learn how to trade by using these elite systems that they've created. Like, without their fake fiat system, I wouldn't be able to feed my family. So I accept it in a sense of I've taken advantage of it to benefit myself. But it's just crazy seeing people like complain about inflation and complain about bills and complain about this and complain about that, and instead of taking fucking initiative of themselves and changing their circumstances. That's really all it takes. I've been financially in the gutters, bro. I'm from freaking Baltimore, Maryland, which is one of the worst cities in America. I've come from the ground up, so I know what it takes. It literally just takes hard work, determination, and effort, and wanting to change your situation for the better, wanting to be a better version of yourself. And if you can commit to that every single day, day in and day out, you will gravitate towards the information that we're telling you, because it's the real information. It's the information that's not making the mainstream masses.
Exactly.
Like, it's mind blowing, man. What's really happening right now with the world is fucking crazy,
bro. And crypto is just so misunderstood, bro. Like the fact that they've given all these different words too. It's like being done purposely, like DeFi, crypto, digital assets. Someone who's listening, who's like barely coming in, they're like, well, what are they even saying? What is that? Not knowing that we're referring to the same thing. It's all the same shit. You know what I mean? But people, they get one little, glimpse of what they think it is without really diving into it. And then they just run with that assumption. And I a good majority of people think like that, because I too also had that type of thinking as well. And you have to snap out of it, and you have to say, look, you know what? Because it's like, you ever been in a conversation with someone and they're like trying to finish your sentence for you, like, oh, I know what this guy's gonna say right now. It's like, bro, that's the mentality that really needs to take a step back and really dive into some information, because you guys are so ego driven with that type of mentality. You don't want to have that mentality, man. Like,
people gravitate towards what makes them feel good, So if the vast majority of people, they come into the crypto space for their very first time and they see an influencer that pumps them or shows them something and tells them it's going to go to $1,000, they're going to gravitate towards that. And then a year down the line in crypto, right, when their XRP hasn't gone or mooned to $1,000 yet, they've been watching an influencer that's told them that. And then at the same time, you see other influencers saying, get out of XRP. XRP is a shit coin. It's done nothing for the world, and it's never going to ever do anything. Then you're going to gravitate towards that, because the whole entire year that's passed, it did nothing for you financially. And so you're going to marry that bias. You're going to flip-flop. When in reality, individuals, real mature investors, understand how to utilize XRP or dollar cost average into XRP to see an appreciation in their portfolio, be patient and wait for discounted prices, so on and so forth. Like, how many people do you know probably that were buying back at 74 cents just a couple of weeks ago? And now they're thinking crypto's a scam because XRP's at 48 cents, right? When now here at CypherX, we're trying to buy this dip because the market's down. And it's like, bro, the people, like, it's so crazy that people don't actually understand that from a zoomed out perspective, like last year, from the low to the high in 2023, I believe XRP did 221%. Okay. To some meme coins in existence, that doesn't seem like a lot. But to traditional asset classes, that is a fuck ton of percentage appreciation. Where in the world can you show me a traditional investment that can make 221% annually? Nowhere. Exactly. And so when you understand that power, you know, just because you aren't performing well in your own personal portfolio doesn't mean that XRP or any other digital asset, I'm just referring to XRP because that was in the title today, are shit. It's most likely you as a person who is shit, not the asset itself. You know, if a stock investor or a stockbroker portfolio isn't doing well, they're not going to sit there and blame Coca-Cola or blame Sony or whatever because their investments aren't going well. No, they're going to look deep inside themselves and try and figure out what the fuck they did wrong. But people in this crypto community, because they come in and they watch all these influencers that promise them all these things, they blame externally instead of blaming internally. And the blame comes internally. When you can figure out that internal blame and change that, that's when you start to make money in this market.
Well, one thing before I play this video is I just want to go back real quick and say that people will always, from what I've learned and what I've understood, is people will always give up their freedom for convenience. They will always give up their freedom for convenience and safety. Always. So as more things become convenient, they will say, "Okay, I'm for it," and wherever there were freedoms that they were entitled, they'll just throw it away. Why? Because we live in a consumer world where everyone just consumes. Everyone just wants more and more and more and more. And when you live in a society like that, you don't care about your rights. You don't care about your freedoms. You don't care about nothing. All you want is more. And to be able to go on your phone and take some stupid video and be like, "Hey guys, look what I got."
It's facts, bro. Facts, man. It's easeability. Everybody wants access. Everybody wants it easily handed to them. I mean, it's
it's not, bro.
It's really crazy, man.
But like, how do you not see it?
And it's only gonna. The crazy part is it's only gonna get worse. And the few people listening to this, I want you to really listen to what I have to say. Like, you are really going to have to fight the devil over the next 5 years if you want to come out on top. And when I say the devil, whatever that means to you, let it mean that to you. I'm not being religious, and I'm just saying the devil so that way you and your mentality understand that there's an evil entity at war with us, we the people right now, and they are trying to steer you off a cliff in the wrong direction. It is going to take initiative on your behalf to actually focus and pay attention and wade through all the bullshit and figure out what you need to do to survive long term. Some of which of the things that I've talked about in today's video breakdown. Right? Not just thinking that it's about downloading an application, dollar cost averaging in, and thinking that you're going to be successful off Coinbase and Uphold in a year from now. Okay. You're about to have to survive the birth of a new asset class. To what degree your brain can comprehend what is about to happen, kudos to you. You can follow individuals like myself that are trying to show you, or individuals like Mr. Man or Mr. Aquaman or Nerdy who are trying to show you what's happening, but it ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be some walk in the park shit. I'm even like at the point now where, because of the market downturn, like I've gotten less bullish because of the research that I've done, not because I don't want to be a bull, but because it's like we really are operating in a space with 26,000 digital assets. And I know I don't know what's going to happen after regulation, but I've researched some of the regulation, and there's a lot of money in this space that still needs to go bye-bye. So me knowing that, how can I not logically comprehend another market downturn? It's like the logical side of me has to understand and prepare for another potential market downturn. Now, hopefully we see a nice bull market before that happens. That would be phenomenal. But it's like, for us to really see digital assets and digital payments and cryptocurrencies being intrinsically interwoven into a new Web3 ecosystem, a lot of shit still has to change. You know,
100%.
So
what people
That's
don't
facts.
understand, if you've never lived through it, if you're a young person or whatever, and you never really lived through it, 2007, 2008 was it. It decimated a lot of people because they were giving out ghost loans, which were like they knew people couldn't pay them back. But what's going on today is it's 1,000 times worse because it's affected of the real estate of the commercial market. The commercial market being affected by this and how many things are going to be transformed is crazy because those buildings will be turned into apartments and that will be the renting out because the old world of having a physical location and building your basic business off a physical location or having physical infrastructure is those days are kind of gone at this point.
Absolutely.
Everything's going to be digital. Everything a whole sector of people, so imagine like 130 employees or 200,000 employees replaced with the server just like that. So, and think about all that office space that is now empty. Well, that office space, that company will leave, but the person who owns that building will just turn it into an apartment. And then, the world keeps turning. But if you don't understand that point and where we're going, then, you're not, you have to take advantage today. Because if you don't take advantage today, you're going to be screwed tomorrow, wondering why you didn't take advantage today. And there's no going back.
That's a fact.
Yeah. That's a fact, bro. And that's how I looked at like, just DeFi and liquidity pools. I looked at it and, part of myself was kind of like, oh man, a little fearful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then I'm like, wait a second, like the time is now, man. I'm gonna look back at this moment and be like, man, I should have did that shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and yeah, man. I mean, it's healthy to have those types of thoughts, but like you're saying, man, the time is now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. Not after regulations. Right now. Because after regulations, once that happened, there's no going back. You're gonna see the market. We're gonna see a market like you're gonna see a utility run like no one has ever seen. No one in the world has ever seen or witnessed or lived or experienced a utility market through regulations that what's about to happen.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier, bro. Like,
it's crazy.
Why? Okay, let me just ask a logical freaking question. Okay, right? The naysayers, the crypto people that knock it, that don't like your favorite project, whatever. Okay, let's put all that aside right now. Why would you not want to participate in this asset class? If you can give me a valid reason, which nobody can really, because the number one argument that people have is, oh, crypto's fake. It's not real money. We've already proven neither is fiat. So your argument there doesn't even make sense logically. Like that just shows me your lack of education of the financial system in which we currently operate in right now,
Yep.
So there really is no reason as to why people shouldn't be participating in this asset class. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is why you should do research on projects that are working with regulators, that are attempting to be regulatory compliant, that have on their back end team that were past regulators or previous lawyers for the freaking White House or for major jurisdictions and so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we're in a decentralized environment, so all that research is readily available at your fingertips through Google or Perplexity, or just by doing a quick search. You can find out who's on their team, and then you can go to their team members and look on LinkedIn, and you can physically see where they worked at and who they've partnered with, and this and that. And like, if you're not taking advantage of that, and you're just pumping money into this market blindly because YouTube told you to, fuck, man, I feel so bad for you. Like, it's not going to end up well for you. And it could not end up well for all of us. But again, I'd rather be on the side of someone who said, I took the chance, took the risk, and lost it all, rather than I didn't take the risk and I watched it moon without me.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so bad.
And you take profits every time you trade. I've taken profits since I've gotten in. I don't know about yourself, Nerdy, but you strike me as somebody who's probably taken some profits yourself. We got to take profits. Like, we have to. Like, man, like, be smart.
That comes down to establishing goals, man. You got to establish financial goals. You need to figure out what you want. You need to look at return on investment. Like, you need to really buckle down and not just set your sight on $1 million. Like, how are you going to get to that $1 million? It's going to take steps. Yeah. It's going to be stepping stones, not going to be one straight line to the upside. There's going to be things that you're going to need to do with your money along the way, and readjust your portfolio, rebalance it, potentially look at other projects along the way that might come out. it's a journey one within itself. I'll let you guys play this. I'm gonna have to hop off here soon because it's almost 5 o'clock and I have another meeting at 5. I didn't really realize the time. So Nerdy's gonna play this video real quick, real fast. There's 1,176 people on this call. So shout out to you all for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Myself and Mr. Aquaman, we missed a podcast last week because I was sick. If you guys can't tell, my throat is still thrashed. But moving forward, just don't forget that we're going to attempt to do these podcasts on Friday. We don't really have a sound set time. We tried to do the morning times, but again, my schedule today randomly flipped and we had to change it to the afternoon. So just expect moving forward a podcast from us on Friday. Nerdy, I'd love to have you on again, man. Really enjoyed your company today. Really love your research. If you guys don't follow Nerdy on X and you're my follower, make sure that you go tap into Nerdy on X. He provides good content about the fiat system, the digital transformation, and so on. Make sure you guys are following Mr. Aquaman, and we really do appreciate each and every single one of you all for listening and tuning in today. Nerdy, this video that I shared with you is a video clip just kind of reiterating what you said about how they've known this to be the plan since the late 1900s. And you were talking about the early 1900s, but this guy particularly said that they've known about this since 1991. Roll the clip.
Fundamentally, the narrative, their turn, everything has started to change, and it's not going to go back. They're going to be part of this new ecosystem.
Do you all know who Scott Stornetta is? Anybody here knows Scott Stornetta is? He was in Dubai 2 days ago. I spoke at AIBC, and I had the honor to share the stage. Scott Stornetta invented blockchain technology in 1991, together with another chap. There were 2 PhD students. They actually invented a DLT, the ledger, right? They use it for a complete different reason. They use it to timestamp documents. They needed a ledger to do that. And then Satoshi did whatever he did in 2008 and everything that happened afterwards. But I had a long conversation with Scott there. And he told me something very interesting. If you go back to adoption and where we're going to, he said to me, we knew this was going to happen in 1991, right?
Wow.
Yo!
I was following this as an engineer, although I was in banking, but I was following
That's it. That's the banger right there.
this was coming. So what's coming next is really a deepening of this situation where pretty much every single bank, every single financial institution will get into it, and then eventually we'll get mass adoption. We're about to finish this, so I'd like to
Boom.
Boom.
Every single bank, every single financial institution, they've known about all this shit since 1991. This ain't no joke. If you're sleeping on this, don't sleep on it. We've been trying to tell y'all. Stop listening to the fudsters.
Gents,
I'll see you guys, man. Everybody, appreciate you all for coming out. Nerdy, thank you. As always, Mr. Aquaman, I'll see you next Friday, man.
Yes, sir. See y'all next Friday.
You guys take it easy.
peace.
Yo, yo.